Stretching across nearly 180 million square kilometers, the Pacific Ocean is a domain of staggering magnitude and profound antiquity, a realm so immense that its boundaries seem to dissolve into infinity. Its surface, a living mosaic of shifting blues and silvers, reflects the ever-changing moods of the sky above, while its depths conceal mysteries older than the continents themselves. The Pacific Ocean, covering more than a third of Earth's surface, dwarfs every landmass, stretching from the icy margins of the Arctic to the sun-drenched tropics and down to the frigid Southern Ocean. Its vastness is not merely a matter of distance, but of depth and complexity. Beneath its surface lies a labyrinth of trenches, ridges, and volcanic arcs, including the Mariana Trench, the deepest point on the planet. For over 200 million years, the Pacific has been a crucible of creation and transformation. Its relentless waves have sculpted coastlines, carved fjords, and shaped islands, while its abyssal plains and volcanic seamounts have fostered the evolution of life in forms both familiar and utterly alien. The Pacific's sheer scale enables it to orchestrate the planet's climate. Its powerful currents, such as the Kuroshio and Humboldt, act as vast conveyor belts, transporting heat from the equator toward the poles and redistributing nutrients across thousands of kilometers. These currents shape weather patterns, drive monsoons, and influence the fate of entire continents. This colossal body of water is not simply a geographic feature. It is the planet's circulatory system, a dynamic engine that sustains the delicate balance of life. Its ceaseless motion breathes vitality into the biosphere, connecting distant shores and ecosystems in a continuous life-giving rhythm. The Pacific is a stage for nature's most spectacular dramas. Here, storms of unimaginable power are born, their energy unleashed in tempests that sweep across the globe. Sunsets ignite the sky in a blaze of color, mirrored by the restless waters below. Within these vast waters dwell the giants of the natural world. The blue whale, the largest animal ever to exist, glides through the Pacific's depths, its immense form a living testament to the ocean's boundless capacity for life. Colossal whales traverse submarine canyons, their haunting songs reverberating for hundreds of miles, weaving a sonic tapestry that connects distant populations across the ocean's vast expanse. Apex predators, such as the great white shark, patrol these open waters, evolutionary masterpieces honed by millions of years of adaptation, their presence a vital thread in the Pacific's intricate web of life. The Pacific's ecosystems are a marvel of complexity and interdependence. Coral reefs, kelp forests, and open ocean gyres each support a dazzling array of species, from microscopic plankton to the formidable orca, each playing a unique and irreplaceable role in the ocean's grand design. To understand the Pacific is to unravel the delicate connections that bind all marine life. Every interaction, from the smallest exchange of nutrients to the migration of vast schools of fish, is part of a finely tuned system, resilient yet exquisitely sensitive to disruption. The Pacific's influence radiates far beyond its watery borders. Its vast surface acts as a heat reservoir, shaping atmospheric circulation and dictating the rhythms of drought and rainfall across continents from the Americas to Asia and Australia. Its tides and currents function as a planetary circulatory system, distributing not only heat but also life-sustaining nutrients. These invisible rivers support immense blooms of plankton, the foundation of the marine food web, and guide the migrations of countless species. In the sunlit upper layers, plankton thrive in unimaginable numbers, capturing the sun's energy and fueling the ocean's vast food chains. Descend into the abyssal plains, and the world transforms into a realm of perpetual darkness and crushing pressure, where life has evolved astonishing adaptations to survive in the most extreme conditions on Earth. Here, bioluminescent creatures illuminate the darkness, their ethereal glows a silent language in the deep. Each species, from the tiniest copepod to the enigmatic giant squid, is a marvel of evolutionary ingenuity. The Pacific's living tapestry is in constant motion, a ceaseless ballet of pursuit and evasion, cooperation and competition. Evolution's handiwork is on display in every corner, from the riotous diversity of coral reefs to the open ocean's vast, ever-shifting schools of fish. Even the surface is alive with drifting communities, floating kelp forests, sargassum mats, and pelagic creatures that ride the currents for thousands of kilometers, forming transient habitats in the open sea. The Pacific is a realm of perpetual renewal and creation. Volcanic islands rise from the depths, sculpted by fire and water, while coral atolls slowly build themselves from the skeletons of countless generations. Its waters cradle the earliest records of life, preserving the story of Earth's evolution in layers of sediment and the living fossils that still thrive in secluded shallows. The Pacific's floor is a landscape of hidden wonders, vast plains of mineral nodules, towering seamounts, and canyons deeper than the Grand Canyon, all shaped by the slow, inexorable forces of geology and time. To gaze upon the Pacific is to witness the planet's most profound expression of wildness and beauty, a living, breathing expanse that has shaped the destiny of life for eons. Its story is written in water, light, and the silent depths, a narrative of grandeur, resilience, and the eternal dance of creation. In the boundless blue of the Pacific Ocean, where the horizon stretches endlessly and the water shimmers beneath the sun, a journey of astonishing scale and endurance unfolds each year. Grey whales, ancient mariners of the sea, embark on a migration that is unrivaled in the mammalian world, an odyssey that spans nearly 19,000 kilometers, from the icy reaches of the Arctic to the sun-warmed lagoons of Mexico and back again. Each individual is a testament to resilience, their mottled skin bearing the scars of past encounters with predators and the harsh elements of the open ocean. These gentle giants, weighing up to 35 tons and stretching over 15 meters in length, propel themselves through the water with slow, powerful strokes of their broad, barnacle-encrusted flukes. Their journey begins in the Arctic's nutrient-rich waters, where the summer sun never sets and the sea teems with life. Here, grey whales gorge on amphipods and other tiny crustaceans, filtering them from the muddy seafloor with their baleen plates. As autumn descends and the polar night returns, the sea transforms, ice flows thicken, temperatures plummet, and the whales sense the subtle shift in salinity and temperature that signals the time to depart. Guided by an ancient, unfailing instinct, they begin their southward migration, traveling in loose pods or sometimes alone, navigating by the Earth's magnetic field, the position of the sun, and the subtle cues of ocean currents. Along the way, they hug the rugged continental coastline, using underwater landmarks to guide their passage. The journey is fraught with peril. Stealthy orcas patrol the waters, their dorsal fins slicing the surface as they hunt for vulnerable calves. The whales must also navigate treacherous stretches, where the deep silence of the ocean is broken by the thunder of passing ships, their massive hulls looming above as the whales slip quietly beneath. After months of relentless travel, the survivors reach the tranquil lagoons of Baja, California. Here the water is shallow, warm and protected from the open sea, a sanctuary carved by nature for the next chapter of their lives. In these calm waters, the whales rest and recover from their journey. Pregnant females, having carried their calves the entire length of the migration, now give birth in the safety of the lagoon, the newborns rising to the surface for their first breath of air. The mothers nurture their calves, teaching them to swim and breathe, while other adults engage in courtship rituals, rolling, spy-hopping, and breaching in displays of strength and vitality. As winter wanes and the northern seas begin to thaw, the whales gather once more, calves now strong enough to face the journey ahead. Together, they turn north, retracing their route along the Pacific coast, driven by the promise of abundant Arctic feeding grounds. The return migration is equally arduous. Calves must learn to evade predators and conserve energy, while adults rely on their memory of oceanic landmarks and the subtle cues of changing seasons. Throughout their journey, grey whales are a living chronicle of the ocean's rhythms, surfacing in the misty dawn, their exhalations rising like ghostly fountains against the sky. Upon their return to the Arctic, they resume their unique feeding behavior, turning on their sides to scoop up mouthfuls of sediment, sieving out amphipods and leaving trails of cloudy water in their wake. For centuries, their numbers ebbed and flowed with the health of the ocean, their migrations a silent testament to the interconnectedness of marine life. Yet the grey whale's story is not without tragedy. Once their kin swam in the Atlantic, but that population vanished forever, leaving only bones and memories behind. In the Pacific, their numbers dwindled to the brink, survivors bearing the scars of a world transformed by forces beyond their control. But the Pacific grey whale endures. Against all odds, they have rebounded, their population slowly recovering as the ocean heals. Today, vast pods once again traverse the Pacific, their presence a living symbol of resilience and the enduring power of nature's cycles. As they glide through kelp forests and along sunlit shores, the grey whales remind us of the intricate beauty and fragility of the marine world. Their epic migration, repeated year after year, is a story written in salt and time, a journey that connects the frozen Arctic to the warm embrace of southern lagoons and the past to the future of the Pacific Ocean. The grey whale's voyage is nature's greatest show, an enduring testament to adaptation, survival, and the wild, untamed spirit of the Pacific. Stretching along the arid spine of the Baja California Peninsula, a network of shallow, protected lagoons forms a rare sanctuary where the Pacific Ocean's wild energy softens into tranquil, life-giving waters. These lagoons, sculpted by millennia of tides and wind, are cradled between desert and sea, their boundaries shifting with each rhythmic pulse of the ocean. Among these jewels, San Ignacio Lagoon stands as a pristine testament to nature's resilience. Its waters shimmer with clarity, revealing a world beneath the surface that is both delicate and astonishingly vibrant. In the gentle embrace of these sun-warmed shallows, the lagoon becomes a stage for one of the ocean's most intimate dramas. Here, the morning light dances across the water, casting golden patterns that ripple over beds of seagrass and sand. The lagoon transforms into a nursery, a cradle where mother grey whales shelter their newborn calves. Shielded from the relentless predators of the open ocean, these gentle giants find peace in the lagoon's embrace, allowing their young to rest and grow in safety. In these calm waters, the calves begin to master the art of swimming, their movements growing stronger and more confident with each passing day. Every flick of a tail, every playful roll, is a step toward the epic journey that awaits them beyond the lagoon's protective arms. The lagoons remain undisturbed, a realm where the only visitors are the creatures that have depended on these waters for generations. The whale's presence is a silent testament to the sanctuary's enduring importance, their trust in these ancient refuges unbroken by the outside world. As the whales glide through the crystalline water, their massive forms cast shifting shadows over the sandy floor. Around them, schools of fish dart and swirl, weaving through the gentle currents that define the lagoon's unique rhythm. Even the whales themselves become floating ecosystems, their skin home to barnacles and tiny crustaceans, while the surrounding water teems with plankton, each organism playing a role in the intricate web of lagoon life. The extraordinary productivity of these lagoons is no accident. Their vitality is born from a delicate balance of tidal flows, nutrient cycles, and the interplay of countless species, each contributing to the ecosystem's harmony. With each incoming tide, cool, nutrient-laden water surges in from the deep Pacific, infusing the lagoon with the raw materials of life. Outgoing tides sweep away waste, maintaining a pristine environment and fueling a continuous cycle of renewal. This tidal engine sustains vast blooms of plankton, the foundation of the lagoon's food web. These microscopic drifters feed swarms of small fish and invertebrates, whose abundance in turn supports larger predators and the whales themselves. The lagoon's shallows become a living tapestry, where clouds of anchovies and sardines shimmer in the sunlight, pursued by sleek predators. Every layer of life is interconnected, each species dependent on the tides and nutrients that flow through this dynamic system. Along the lagoon's margins, dense forests of mangroves anchor the shoreline. Their waxy leaves glisten with salt, while their roots reach deep into the brackish water, stabilizing the land and creating a labyrinth of shelter. These tangled roots form a living barrier, absorbing the force of waves and storm surges. They prevent erosion, trap sediments, and create a buffer that protects the delicate lagoon ecosystem from the harshness of the open sea. Beneath the surface, the mangrove roots become nurseries for a dazzling array of life. Juvenile fish, crustaceans, and mollusks find refuge among the tangled wood, safe from predators and nourished by the rich detritus that accumulates here. Above, the mangrove canopy teems with life. Ospreys perch high above the water, scanning for fish, while herons and egrets stalk the shallows, their patient movements a study in precision. Crabs scuttle across exposed mudflats, and the air is alive with the calls of countless birds. As day fades to night, the lagoon transforms once more. The setting sun paints the water in hues of gold and crimson, while distant whales surface in silhouette. After dark, bioluminescent plankton ignite the shallows with an ethereal glow, a final reminder of the lagoon's boundless vitality, a world apart, where nature's greatest show unfolds in exquisite detail, untouched and eternal. The Pacific Ocean, stretching from the icy margins of the north to the warm equatorial currents, is a vast and dynamic theatre where evolution's most formidable hunters reign supreme. Here, every ripple conceals a story of survival, and every shadow may hide a predator perfectly adapted to its domain. At the pinnacle of this intricate food web are the orcas, or killer whales, apex predators whose intelligence and social complexity are unrivaled in the marine world. These highly social mammals operate in tightly knit pods, each with its own dialect and hunting traditions passed down through generations. Their strategies are as varied as their prey. Some pods specialize in herding schools of herring into tight balls, while others launch coordinated attacks on seals resting atop drifting ice floes. In rare displays of power, orcas have even been observed preying on the calves of massive baleen whales, demonstrating both patience and precision. The mere presence of orcas sends ripples of caution through the ecosystem. Seals, dolphins, and even large sharks alter their behavior, seeking refuge or changing migration routes to avoid these masterful hunters. In this way, orcas exert a profound influence, shaping the very structure of marine communities and maintaining a delicate equilibrium. Far from being indiscriminate killers, orcas are the ocean's regulators. By controlling populations of prey species, they prevent imbalances that could cascade through the food web, ensuring the continued health and diversity of the Pacific's living tapestry. Sharing the apex with orcas is the legendary great white shark, a solitary hunter whose presence evokes both fear and fascination. Sculpted by 400 million years of relentless evolution, the great white is a marvel of biological engineering. Its torpedo-shaped body, built for bursts of speed, its senses finely tuned to detect the faintest electrical signals of hidden prey. Each year, these enigmatic predators converge at remote Pacific outposts such as Guadalupe Island, drawn by the seasonal abundance of seals and tuna. Here, the ocean's giants reveal their full majesty, patrolling the depths with silent authority. The largest females, true matriarchs of the deep, can exceed 6 meters in length and tip the scales at over 3 tons. Their immense size is a testament to decades of survival in a world where only the fittest endure. Recent research has unveiled that these sharks mature far later than once believed, with some individuals not reaching reproductive age until their third decade. Each scar etched into their skin tells a story of battles survived and lessons learned in the relentless struggle for dominance. This slow pace of reproduction leaves great whites perilously exposed to population decline. In recent decades, their numbers have dwindled, a silent warning echoing through the Pacific's vastness. Yet not all predators in these waters are swift or muscular. In the shadowy depths, the enigmatic Black Sea nettle jellyfish drifts with the currents, its ghostly form both beautiful and deadly. Only formally described by science in 1997, the Black Sea nettle remains a symbol of the ocean's enduring mysteries. Its bell, dark as midnight, can span a meter across, while its trailing tentacles stretch over 7 meters, forming a living net that ensnares the unwary. At times, these jellyfish gather in immense swarms, their numbers transforming the seascape into a pulsating, otherworldly spectacle. Each individual, though passive, is a master of ambush, its stinging cells paralyzing small fish and crustaceans that wander too close. The Black Sea nettle's hunting is a silent affair. Its tentacles, armed with thousands of microscopic harpoons, deliver venom with surgical precision, ensuring a steady supply of nourishment in the nutrient-rich midwaters. Despite their prowess, the future for many of these apex predators is fraught with uncertainty. The balance they maintain is fragile, and the loss of even a single species can send shockwaves through the ecosystem. The relentless pressures of predation, competition, and environmental change are compounded by the slow rhythms of their own life cycles. For every predator that vanishes, a chapter of the Pacific's story is lost. When apex predators decline, the consequences ripple outward. Prey populations may surge unchecked, leading to imbalances that can trigger jellyfish blooms and the collapse of once thriving fisheries. The intricate web that has evolved over millennia begins to unravel. The removal of these top predators disrupts the natural order, allowing opportunistic species to dominate and altering the very fabric of the Pacific's ecosystems. The consequences are profound, affecting everything from coral reefs to the open ocean. To safeguard the Pacific's future, the protection of its apex predators is paramount. Their continued presence ensures the resilience and vitality of this immense ocean realm, preserving the intricate balance that sustains life from the sunlit shallows to the deepest abyss. Cradled between the rugged Baja California peninsula and the vast Mexican mainland, the Sea of Cortez emerges as a living testament to the Pacific Ocean's boundless creativity. Here, the Pacific's embrace has sculpted a realm of astonishing complexity and abundance where every current, every island, and every shimmering shoal tells a story of evolution and adaptation. Born from the relentless forces of plate tectonics some 7 million years ago, this sea is a geological infant by oceanic standards. The rift that tore the peninsula from the continent created a dynamic basin where volcanic islands rise abruptly from the depths and the land's raw, mineral-rich bones are exposed to the elements. This unique geography, combined with the Pacific's ceaseless energy, has fostered a marine environment so rich that it is often called the world's aquarium. Here, the clarity of the water reveals a living tapestry, schools of iridescent fish, intricate coral gardens, and a kaleidoscope of invertebrates, each species a thread in the fabric of life. The Sea of Cortez is recognized as the most biodiverse sea on Earth, sheltering over 5,000 marine species. Its reefs and rocky outcrops are alive with color and movement. Delicate sea fans filter plankton from the currents, while octopuses camouflage themselves among the stones, and moray eels peer from their crevices, ever watchful. The secret to this abundance lies in the ocean's invisible engine, powerful currents and the phenomenon of upwelling. Here, deep, cold water laden with nutrients from the ocean's abyss, surges upward, infusing the sunlit shallows with the raw materials of life. This perpetual renewal transforms the Sea of Cortez into a biological hotspot where productivity rivals the richest rainforests on land. At the heart of this system are the phytoplankton, microscopic plants that drift with the currents, their numbers swelling into vast blooms visible from space. These tiny organisms harness sunlight and nutrients, forming the foundation of the marine food web and fueling an explosion of life at every level. The bounty of phytoplankton sustains immense shoals of small, energy-rich fish, sardines, anchovies, and herrings. These fish move as living rivers, their synchronized movements a mesmerizing defense against the ever-present threat of predation. These forage fish are the ocean's superfood, their abundance attracting a spectacular array of predators. Sleek yellowfin tuna, powerful marlin, and agile dolphins converge in coordinated hunts while sea lions and seabirds join the fray, each species playing its part in the intricate dance of survival. Among the most breathtaking spectacles are the gatherings of mobula rays. In their thousands, these enigmatic creatures soar from the water in synchronized acrobatics, their wings catching the light as they twist and turn above the waves, a display of both strength and vulnerability in a world of constant change. The abundance of these small fish is the lifeblood of the ecosystem, linking the tiniest plankton to the mightiest whales. Every creature, from the smallest shrimp to the largest shark, is woven into this vibrant web, each dependent on the delicate balance maintained by the Pacific's rhythms. Yet, even in this realm of abundance, the balance is fragile. When the intricate connections are disrupted, the consequences ripple outward, affecting every level of the food chain. The collapse of sardine populations in the past stands as a stark warning. Once teeming shoals dwindled to shadows, and the predators that relied on them faced hunger and decline. Even today, the scars of overexploitation linger, a silent testament to the ecosystem's vulnerability. The repercussions of scarcity echo through the food web. Sea lions, seabirds, and countless other predators struggle to survive when their prey vanishes, their fates intertwined with the health of the smallest fish. Despite decades of natural recovery, sardine populations have yet to return to their former glory. The lesson is clear. In the Pacific's finely tuned system, even a single thread, once pulled, can unravel the whole. Scattered across the Sea of Cortez, volcanic islands rise like sentinels from the blue. Each is a world unto itself, shaped by fire and wind, and isolated by the surrounding sea. These islands, forged in volcanic fury, are defined by their harshness. Sheer cliffs and barren slopes offer little shelter, yet life here has found ingenious ways to persist. Endemic reptiles, birds, and insects have evolved remarkable adaptations to survive the extremes. Water conservation, heat tolerance, and camouflage are their tools for enduring the relentless sun and scarce resources. Dominating the landscape is the cardon, the world's largest cactus. These ancient giants, some centuries old, stand as living monuments to endurance, their massive arms reaching skyward in silent defiance of the desert's challenges. Each spring, the cardon bursts into bloom, its flowers opening under the cover of darkness. The air fills with a sweet fragrance, beckoning the night's most extraordinary pollinators. The lesser long-nosed bat, a marvel of nocturnal adaptation, answers the call. Guided by scent and memory, it hovers with precision, transferring pollen from flower to flower and ensuring the next generation of these desert titans. These bats are immune to scorpion venom and possess an insatiable appetite, consuming up to half their body weight in nectar and insects each night. Their nightly journeys sustain not only themselves, but the entire ecosystem as they pollinate and disperse seeds across the islands. In the Sea of Cortez, the Pacific's legacy is written in every grain of sand, every coral polyp, and every living creature. It is a crucible of biodiversity, an ever-evolving masterpiece, where the forces of nature have crafted one of the planet's most extraordinary living systems. In the vast, sunlit waters of the Sea of Cortez, immense schools of sardines shimmer and swirl, their silvery bodies forming living currents that pulse through the Pacific. This abundance draws an extraordinary array of predators, each perfectly adapted, each playing a unique role in a complex ballet of survival. Among the most formidable are the striped marlins, apex predators renowned for their speed and precision. These sleek hunters, their bodies streamlined for minimal resistance, can accelerate to over 80 kilometers per hour in short, explosive bursts. Working in synchrony, marlins encircle the sardines, driving them into a dense, glittering bait ball. This formation is not accidental. It is the result of relentless pursuit and calculated maneuvers, with each marlin anticipating the movements of its companions and the evasive tactics of its prey. The marlins wield their elongated, spear-like bills with astonishing dexterity. Rather than impaling, they deliver rapid lateral slashes, stunning individual sardines and sending shockwaves through the tightly packed school. Each strike is a calculated risk, requiring split-second timing to avoid injuring fellow hunters. Once a sardine is dazed, a marlin swiftly seizes it, swallowing the prey whole before rejoining the hunt. This relentless, coordinated assault fragments the bait ball, but the marlins quickly regroup, maintaining the pressure and maximizing their hunting efficiency. Into this swirling maelstrom plunge the California sea lions, highly intelligent, agile predators whose social structure and communication skills rival those of any marine mammal. Their streamlined bodies and powerful flippers allow them to twist and turn with astonishing agility, weaving through the chaos with effortless grace. Sea lions live in vast colonies, sometimes numbering over 1,000 individuals. Their social bonds are reinforced by constant vocalizations and tactile interactions, and their cooperative hunting tactics are a testament to their intelligence. In pursuit of prey, they dive to depths exceeding 275 meters, their lungs and blood specially adapted to withstand the crushing pressure and cold. When sardines gather in dense schools, sea lions and marlins form temporary alliances, each species exploiting the other's strengths. Sea lions herd the sardines upward, using bursts of speed and coordinated movements to drive the fish toward the surface, where escape routes are limited. Dominant male sea lions, massive and powerful, maintain control over large harems. During the breeding season, these males fast for weeks, relying on stored energy reserves as they defend their territory with unwavering stamina and resolve. Their vigilance ensures the safety of their harems, while their presence on the periphery of the hunt adds another layer of complexity to the predator-prey dynamic. Above the roiling surface, the air is alive with the cries and wing beats of seabirds. Brown pelicans, unchanged in form for 30 million years, soar and circle, their keen eyes scanning for the telltale flash of fish near the surface. With astonishing precision, pelicans execute dramatic plunge dives from heights of up to 30 meters. At the apex of their descent, they fold their wings tightly and arrow downward, slicing through the air before striking the water with explosive force. Specialized air sacs beneath their skin cushion the impact, allowing them to survive repeated dives that would shatter the bones of less adapted birds. Their cavernous throat pouches, capable of holding more water than their stomachs, scoop up fish and seawater in a single motion. With practiced efficiency, pelicans drain the excess water before swallowing their slippery prize. The demands of raising young are immense. A single chick consumes over 45 kilograms of fish before it is ready to fledge, a testament to the relentless productivity of these ancient hunters. Sharing the skies and waters are cormorants, whose lineage stretches back 70 million years. These birds are masters of aquatic pursuit, their bodies built for stealth and speed beneath the waves. Cormorants dive with barely a ripple, using powerful webbed feet to propel themselves in pursuit of fish. Their feathers, unlike those of most seabirds, are only partially waterproof, reducing buoyancy and allowing them to slip effortlessly beneath the surface. This adaptation comes at a cost. After each hunt, cormorants must return to shore, wings outstretched, to dry their saturated plumage in the sun's warmth. Their hunting relies on acute vision above water, but beneath the surface, their eyesight is unremarkable. Instead, they depend on lightning-fast reflexes and agile maneuvering to outpace their quarry in the bustling, ever-changing world below. In this intricate web of life, every predator, whether marlin, sea lion, pelican or cormorant, plays a vital role. Their cooperative and competitive interactions shape the fate of the sardine schools and define the dynamic, ever-evolving spectacle of the Pacific Ocean's greatest show. Here, in these teeming waters, the drama of predator and prey unfolds in a display of strategy, adaptation, and breathtaking natural choreography, an endless testament to the ingenuity of life in the Pacific. Far beneath the rolling waves of the Pacific, immense underwater mountains, known as seamounts, rise silently from the abyssal plain. These colossal geological structures, some towering thousands of meters above the ocean floor, remain shrouded in perpetual twilight, their peaks rarely glimpsed by human eyes. Forged by ancient volcanic activity, seamounts are the planet's most extensive habitat, dwarfing even the world's rainforests in sheer area. Their rugged slopes and jagged summits create a labyrinth of microhabitats, each supporting a unique community of life. The steep flanks of these underwater mountains disrupt the flow of deep ocean currents, forcing cold, nutrient-laden water upwards into the sunlit shallows. This upwelling transforms the seamount into a vibrant oasis, where life flourishes in astonishing abundance. Here, microscopic plankton bloom in swirling clouds, igniting a cascade of life. Swarms of tiny crustaceans and larval fish gather, drawing in larger predators and forming the foundation of a complex food web that sustains creatures both great and small. Seamounts serve as vital waypoints for migratory species. Tuna, sharks and billfish pause to feed, while vast schools of fish swirl in shimmering formations. These hidden peaks are biodiversity hotspots, their ecological importance rivaling that of coral reefs. Among the most awe-inspiring visitors to these submerged mountains is the giant manta ray, a gentle giant whose presence transforms the seamount into a stage for nature's most graceful ballet. With wingspans stretching up to 7 meters and bodies weighing over 1,300 kilograms, manta rays are the largest rays on Earth. Their broad, diamond-shaped bodies cast immense shadows as they soar effortlessly through the water. Despite their formidable size, manta rays are gentle filter feeders. With their cephalic fins unfurled like elegant sails, they glide through plankton-rich waters, funneling clouds of microscopic life into their cavernous mouths, their gill rakers sieving nourishment from the sea. Recent scientific discoveries have revealed the remarkable intelligence of manta rays. Their brains, proportionally the largest of any fish, are packed with intricate folds and specialized regions, hinting at advanced cognitive abilities. Manta rays display complex social behaviors, forming temporary groups to feed or interact. Observations suggest they recognize individual rays and may even possess a sense of self, challenging our understanding of consciousness in marine life. Yet the very traits that make manta rays extraordinary also render them vulnerable. Their solitary journeys across immense distances expose them to countless threats in the open ocean. Manta rays grow slowly, taking years to reach maturity. Juveniles drift in the currents, learning to navigate the intricate seamount terrain as they gradually develop the strength and skills of adulthood. Females give birth to a single live pup, a rare event that occurs only once every 2 to 7 years. The newborn, already a miniature replica of its parent, must immediately fend for itself in a world of giants and predators. This slow reproductive cycle means that manta ray populations are exceptionally fragile. When numbers decline, recovery can take decades, if it happens at all. In recent years, targeted fishing for their gill plates, prized in certain traditional medicines, has placed immense pressure on these gentle giants. The removal of even a few individuals can have devastating effects on local populations. Across the Pacific, once thriving aggregations have dwindled, leaving once bustling seamounts eerily empty. The loss of these keystone species ripples through the ecosystem, altering the delicate balance of life. Yet the seamounts remain a stage for other remarkable creatures. The common dolphin, a masterful hunter and social strategist, navigates these waters with astonishing agility. Descended from land-dwelling ancestors, dolphins have evolved into sleek, hydrodynamic forms. Their bodies are built for speed and endurance, allowing them to traverse vast distances in search of prey. Dolphins rely on sophisticated echolocation, emitting bursts of high-frequency clicks that bounce off objects and return as echoes. This biological sonar paints a vivid acoustic map of their surroundings, revealing hidden prey and obstacles in the inky depths. By interpreting these echoes, dolphins can pinpoint the location, size, and even the shape of distant fish, giving them a decisive advantage in the hunt. Their communication is equally complex, with whistles and clicks conveying information across the pod. Working together, dolphins employ intricate strategies to herd and capture prey, surrounding schools of fish and driving them into dense bait balls. Their intelligence, adaptability, and social cohesion make them among the Pacific's most formidable and successful predators, ensuring the seamounts remain vibrant with life, even as the ocean's mysteries continue to unfold. Across the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean, nature has sculpted a living masterpiece of evolution. Here, in the heart of the world's largest ocean, isolated volcanic islands rise abruptly from the deep blue, their rugged coastlines battered by relentless waves and shrouded in swirling mists. These islands, including the legendary Galapagos, are sanctuaries of life, forged by fire and shaped by the ceaseless interplay of wind, water, and time. Each island is a testament to the raw power of geological forces. Volcanic eruptions give birth to new land, their molten rivers cooling into jagged black rock. Over millennia, these barren outcrops become canvases for life's relentless creativity, as the first pioneering organisms, mosses, lichens, and hardy ferns, take root in the mineral-rich soil, paving the way for a cascade of evolutionary innovation. The Pacific's islands are mosaics of microclimates and habitats, each one a crucible for adaptation. From sun-baked lowlands to misty highlands, species diverge and specialize, evolving traits that allow them to thrive in niches as varied as salt-blasted shores, dense forests, and arid volcanic slopes. Nowhere else on Earth is the process of speciation so vividly displayed. Here, the forces of isolation and natural selection have given rise to an astonishing array of life forms. Birds, reptiles, and insects have radiated into countless species, each exquisitely tuned to its environment. The Galapagos finches, with their diverse beak shapes, and the flightless cormorant, with its powerful legs and vestigial wings, are living proof of evolution's artistry. Among the most extraordinary of these evolutionary marvels is the marine iguana, a creature found nowhere else on the planet. Its dark, flattened body absorbs the sun's warmth, while specialized glands excrete salt, a vital adaptation for life at the ocean's edge. With remarkable agility, the marine iguana plunges into the frigid Pacific, its limbs transformed into efficient paddles. It grazes on algae clinging to submerged rocks, scraping sustenance from a world few reptiles dare to enter. Its heart rate slows, conserving oxygen as it navigates the swirling currents. After each foray, the iguana returns to the sun-baked rocks, where it sprawls motionless, absorbing heat to revive its chilled body. This delicate balance between land and sea, warmth and cold, is a daily ritual, a living demonstration of adaptation to an extreme environment. This perpetual migration between two worlds is unique in the reptile kingdom. The marine iguana's existence is a testament to the Pacific's power to shape life in unexpected ways, forging creatures perfectly attuned to their singular habitats. On the highlands, the Galapagos giant tortoise roams with ancient deliberation. Its massive shell, sculpted by centuries of evolution, shields it from the harsh sun and predators alike. These gentle giants graze on lush grasses and cacti, their slow movements echoing the timeless rhythms of the islands. Each tortoise population has evolved distinct shell shapes and feeding behaviors, perfectly matched to the terrain and vegetation of its home island. Some have high-domed shells for reaching low vegetation, while others possess saddleback shells, allowing them to stretch their necks toward higher foliage. The cycle of life continues as hatchlings emerge from sandy nests, instinctively seeking shelter among rocks and shrubs. Their journey is fraught with challenges, yet each new generation carries the legacy of adaptation forward. In the cool, mist-laden forests, tortoises navigate a world transformed by seasonal rains. Mosses and lichens cling to their shells, creating miniature ecosystems that travel with them across the landscape. Surrounding these islands, the Pacific's currents converge in a dynamic ballet. Warm and cold waters intermingle, creating nutrient-rich upwellings that sustain a dazzling diversity of marine life. In these fertile waters, the world's largest fish, the whale shark, glides with majestic grace. Its immense body, adorned with a constellation of spots, filters plankton from the sea, accompanied by a retinue of smaller fish that find shelter in its shadow. Whale sharks gather in these waters to feast on seasonal blooms of plankton, their migrations guided by ancient instincts and the subtle cues of ocean currents. The Pacific is also home to vast schools of scalloped hammerhead sharks, their distinctive heads sweeping through the water as they navigate by detecting the faintest electrical signals. These predators gather in swirling formations, a spectacle of synchronized movement and evolutionary precision. Every creature, from the smallest plankton to the largest shark, is a thread in the Pacific's intricate web of life. Here, evolution is an ongoing symphony, orchestrated by the forces of isolation, adaptation, and the ever-changing rhythms of the ocean. The Pacific stands as nature's greatest evolutionary masterpiece, a living testament to the boundless creativity of life. The Pacific Ocean, a vast expanse covering more than one-third of our planet's surface, is a living tapestry woven from countless threads of life, each one unique and irreplaceable. Its waters cradle the most ancient lineages of marine organisms, from the delicate, translucent plankton that drift with the currents, to the colossal blue whales that traverse entire hemispheres in their search for sustenance. Every year the Pacific witnesses the epic journeys of grey whales, their ancient migratory routes echoing through millennia, while in the lightless depths, bioluminescent creatures illuminate the darkness, revealing a world as alien as any beyond our planet. The Pacific's intricate web of life has evolved over hundreds of millions of years, its interconnected systems regulating global climate, cycling nutrients, and supporting a staggering diversity of species. From the sunlit shallows to the midnight zone, every layer of this ocean is alive with activity, each organism playing a vital role in maintaining the balance of this immense ecosystem. The Pacific's relentless waves sculpt coastlines and nourish coral reefs, while beneath the surface, sunlight filters through turquoise water, igniting a kaleidoscope of color and movement. Here, the dance of predator and prey, the silent growth of coral polyps, and the migration of microscopic larvae all contribute to the ocean's enduring vitality. Yet this intricate balance is now under unprecedented threat. The Pacific's story, once written solely by the rhythms of nature, is being rapidly rewritten by forces that disrupt, degrade, and endanger its very foundation. Industrial-scale fishing fleets sweep across the open ocean, their nets capturing not only targeted species but also countless unintended victims. Ghost nets drift silently, entangling everything in their path, while microplastics infiltrate even the most remote and pristine waters, entering the food chain at its very base. Apex predators such as the scalloped hammerhead and the great white shark, once rulers of these waters, now face relentless pressure from overfishing and bycatch. Their dwindling numbers threaten to unravel the delicate balance of entire marine communities, cascading through the food web with unpredictable consequences. Pollution, in its many forms, seeps into every corner of the Pacific. Plastic debris drifts for thousands of miles, ensnaring turtles and seabirds, while invisible toxins accumulate in the tissues of fish and invertebrates. Oil slicks spread across the surface, suffocating life and leaving scars that persist for generations. The relentless advance of climate change is altering the Pacific at a fundamental level. Rising temperatures and acidifying waters strip coral reefs of their color and vitality, transforming vibrant underwater cities into barren wastelands. The loss of these reefs reverberates through the ecosystem, depriving countless species of shelter and sustenance. As polar ice melts and sea levels rise, coastal habitats are submerged or eroded, while warming waters disrupt the migration and breeding cycles of countless marine species. The intricate choreography of life, honed over eons, is thrown into disarray. In the shadowy depths, ancient creatures like the nautilus and the octopus face a future clouded by uncertainty. Their survival depends on the stability of their environment, now threatened by forces beyond their evolutionary experience. Yet hope endures in the Pacific's protected sanctuaries. Here, the absence of exploitation allows ecosystems to recover, populations to rebound, and the full splendor of marine life to flourish. These refugees are living proof that with careful stewardship, the ocean's resilience can prevail. The establishment of marine reserves, the enforcement of science-based fishing limits, and the restoration of critical habitats are essential strategies for reversing the tide of decline. Each protected area becomes a beacon of hope, radiating benefits far beyond its boundaries. Restoring the Pacific's health requires a holistic approach, protecting not only the open ocean, but also the rivers, estuaries, and wetlands that feed it. Mangroves, seagrasses, and oyster reefs act as natural filters, trapping sediments and pollutants before they reach the sea, and providing nurseries for countless marine species. The Pacific's future depends on the survival of its most iconic inhabitants, the dolphins that leap through kelp forests, the otters that maintain the balance of coastal ecosystems, and the countless invertebrates that form the foundation of the food web. The fate of the Pacific's wonders, the graceful manta rays, the ancient tortoises, the gentle whale sharks, and the vibrant coral reefs, rests on our ability to act decisively and with foresight. The Pacific has weathered storms and upheavals for millions of years, its resilience tested time and again. But the challenges it faces today are unprecedented in both scale and speed, demanding urgent and sustained action. To conserve the Pacific Ocean is to safeguard the beating heart of our planet's life support system. Its preservation is not merely a matter of protecting wildlife, but of ensuring the continued stability of Earth's climate, the productivity of its waters, and the enduring beauty of its living seas for all time. Beneath the endless blue expanse of the Pacific lies a world almost entirely hidden from human eyes, a realm sculpted by fire, pressure, and time. Here, in the silent darkness miles below the surface, the seafloor is alive with dramatic geological forces. Towering volcanic mountains rise from the abyssal plain, forming chains that stretch for thousands of kilometers, while deep trenches plunge further than Mount Everest is tall. These volcanic landscapes, shaped by the restless movement of tectonic plates, are among the most dynamic environments on Earth. At the heart of the Pacific, the Ring of Fire encircles the basin, its submarine volcanoes erupting in silence, building new land in the darkness. Lava oozes from fissures, cooling instantly into jagged formations, pillow basalts and black smokers, creating a rugged terrain as alien as any in the solar system. but it is at the hydrothermal vents, where superheated water rich with minerals bursts from the sea floor, that life takes on its most extraordinary forms. Here, in the absence of sunlight, entire ecosystems thrive on chemosynthesis rather than photosynthesis. Bacteria and archaea harness the energy of chemicals like hydrogen sulfide, forming the base of a food web that supports a dazzling array of life. Giant tube worms, their blood-red plumes waving in the current, cluster around the vents, growing up to 2 meters long. Their bodies lack mouths or digestive systems. Instead, they rely on symbiotic bacteria housed within their tissues to convert vent chemicals into nourishment. Nearby, ghostly white crabs scuttle across the rocks, while swarms of eyeless shrimp graze on bacterial mats. Delicate vent octopuses drift through the gloom, their arms exploring the mineral towers for prey. In these hostile conditions, where temperatures can swing from near freezing to hundreds of degrees Celsius in a matter of centimeters, life has evolved remarkable adaptations. The shells of vent mussels and snails are reinforced with iron and other metals, while certain fish and eelpouts have antifreeze proteins in their blood, allowing them to survive the crushing pressures and extreme temperatures. The volcanic landscapes of the Pacific Deep Sea are not only a testament to the power of geological forces, but also a frontier of biological ingenuity. Each eruption, each new vent, creates an opportunity for life to colonize and adapt, driving the evolution of unique species found nowhere else on Earth. These ecosystems, isolated by vast distances and formidable barriers, are living laboratories for the study of life's resilience and creativity. As the camera drifts through towering black smokers and over fields of shimmering vent fauna, the sheer strangeness and beauty of this world becomes clear. It is a reminder that the Pacific's greatest mysteries and its most astonishing life forms may yet lie in the shadowy depths, waiting to be discovered. In the perpetual night of the Pacific's deeper realms, where sunlight is but a distant memory, an extraordinary phenomenon illuminates the darkness, a living ballet of light known as bioluminescence. Here, countless organisms have evolved the remarkable ability to generate their own glow, transforming the black depths into a theater of shifting color, pulses, and sparks. Drifting just above the abyssal plain, vast swarms of comb jellies glide silently, their gelatinous bodies adorned with rows of cilia that scatter light into rainbow cascades. Each gentle undulation sends ripples of electric blue and green along their bodies, a mesmerizing display both beautiful and functional. For these fragile drifters, bioluminescence serves as a defense. Startled by an approaching predator, they erupt in a sudden flash, startling attackers or drawing attention to the threat, a glowing alarm in the darkness. Nearby, the subtle flicker of lanternfish forms a living constellation, stretching for kilometers through the open water. These small fish possess rows of photophores, light-producing organs, along their bellies and flanks. Lanternfish synchronize their glow to match the faint light filtering from above, a camouflage technique called counter-illumination. By blending in with the dim glow of the surface, they erase their shadows and vanish from the view of hungry predators lurking below. On the seafloor, the bobtail squid buries itself in the sand, only its eyes peering out. Within its mantle, specialized bacteria generate a soft blue glow. The squid manipulates this light, adjusting its intensity and direction to match the moonlit ripples above. This partnership is a triumph of evolution, an animal and its microscopic allies working together to evade detection, a symbiosis fine-tuned over millions of years. Further out in the midwater, the vampire squid unfurls its webbed arms, revealing a galaxy of twinkling light organs. When threatened, it ejects a cloud of glowing mucus, dazzling and confusing would-be predators long enough for a swift escape. For the vampire squid and many other deep-sea dwellers, bioluminescence is more than a defense. It is a language, a means of communication in a world without sunlight. Flashy displays are not limited to defense or disguise. The enigmatic female anglerfish dangles a luminous lure before her jaws, its eerie blue-green light drawing curious prey into striking range. The science behind this glow is as fascinating as the creatures themselves. Most bioluminescent organisms rely on a chemical reaction involving luciferin, a light-emitting molecule, and the enzyme luciferase. When triggered, this reaction produces cold light. Nearly all energy is released as visible photons, with almost no heat. Each species fine-tunes its chemistry, producing colors and patterns unique to its needs. Signals for mating, warnings to rivals, or beacons for hunting. Bioluminescence shapes the very fabric of deep-sea ecosystems. Predators use light to hunt, prey use it to hide or escape. Some species flash in synchrony, creating waves of light that ripple through the midnight zone, while others remain invisible, their darkness a shield against the ever-watchful eyes below. As our camera glides through this luminous underworld, the darkness is pierced by 1,000 points of living light, a silent ballet, choreographed by evolution and the relentless drive to survive. In the Pacific's shadowy depths, bioluminescent creatures are not merely curiosities. They are architects of the night, weaving light into the fabric of life itself. Beneath the sunlit shallows of the Pacific, a world of color and life unfolds, a living mosaic known as the coral reef. Here, the ocean's architects, tiny coral polyps, build vast limestone fortresses over centuries, their collective effort giving rise to structures so immense they can be seen from space. These reefs, though covering less than 1% of the ocean floor, harbor a staggering quarter of all marine species, making them the most biodiverse ecosystems on the planet. Our camera glides over branching forests of staghorn coral, their ivory arms swaying gently in the current, providing sanctuary for countless creatures. Clouds of anthias and chromis fish flicker among the branches, their scales catching the sunlight in bursts of orange and sapphire. Lurking between the corals, a moray eel peers from its lair, its sinuous body blending perfectly with the reef's intricate patterns. Every crevice teems with life. Crimson shrimp tend to cleaning stations, picking parasites from passing fish. Butterfly fish and angelfish browse on algae, painting the seascape with their vivid hues. The coral reef is a web of interconnected lives. Sea cucumbers recycle nutrients. Grazing parrotfish bite off chunks of coral, creating fine sand, while octopuses slip through the labyrinth, masters of camouflage and cunning. But the reef's beauty is more than skin deep. Coral polyps, in partnership with symbiotic algae called zooxanthellae, transform sunlight into energy, fueling the growth of the reef and generating oxygen for the surrounding waters. In turn, the complex maze of coral branches offers shelter and breeding grounds for thousands of species, from the tiniest gobies to the formidable reef sharks that patrol the edge of the drop-off. Coral reefs are not only cradles of biodiversity, they are guardians of coastlines. Their massive walls absorb the force of waves and storms, protecting shores from erosion and damage. For the Pacific's island nations, reefs are a source of food, cultural heritage, and economic lifeblood. Yet this vibrant realm is under siege. Warming oceans trigger coral bleaching as stressed polyps expel their life-giving algae, leaving ghostly skeletons behind. Ocean acidification weakens the very foundation of the reefs, making it harder for corals to build and repair. Overfishing, pollution, and destructive fishing practices further erode this delicate balance. As our camera lingers on a patchwork of living and bleached coral, the contrast is stark, a reminder of the fragility of paradise. Yet hope glimmers in the resilience of nature. In protected sanctuaries, corals spawn in synchrony, releasing clouds of eggs and sperm into the moonlit water, a testament to the enduring will to survive. The reefs of the Pacific are more than just jewels of the sea. They are ancient engineers, tireless providers, and silent sentinels, woven into the fate of the ocean and all who depend on it. Their future rests in our hands, a legacy as brilliant and fragile as the corals themselves. Beneath the rolling blue expanse of the Pacific, a landscape of staggering grandeur lies hidden from the sun, a realm sculpted by fire and time, where underwater mountains soar and yawning trenches plunge into eternal night. These submerged cathedrals and chasms form the planet's most dramatic topography, shaping ocean currents, climate, and life itself. Our journey begins along the spine of a seamount, its summit rising thousands of meters above the abyssal plain. Bathed in the filtered twilight, forests of deep-sea corals and sponges cling to rocky outcrops, their delicate forms undisturbed by surface storms. Here, strange and wondrous creatures thrive. Giant isopods scuttle across the slopes, their armored shells gleaming like ancient relics. Swarms of bioluminescent lanternfish shimmer in the darkness, forming living rivers that flow along the mountain's contours. As the camera descends, the Seamounts slopes give way to the Pacific's greatest chasms. The Mariana Trench, Earth's deepest known point, yawns nearly 11,000 meters below sea level, a pressure cooker world where only the hardiest survive. In the inky blackness, the ghostly form of a snailfish drifts, its translucent body adapted to the crushing depths. Nearby, amphipods, tiny shrimp-like scavengers, pick through the detritus that falls like snow from above. Hydrothermal vents dot the trench's flanks, belching mineral-rich water into the frigid sea. Around these underwater geysers, life flourishes in defiance of the sun. Tube worms with blood-red plumes extract energy from the vents' chemicals in a symbiotic dance with bacteria. Clusters of blind shrimp, their bodies studded with light-sensitive organs, navigate the shimmering plumes of heated water. Here, evolution writes its most improbable stories, creatures that glow, endure, and thrive where no light penetrates. Between these peaks and pits, the Pacific's ridges and escarpments create corridors for migratory giants. Sperm whales dive deep in search of squid, their calls echoing off the submerged cliffs. Six-gill sharks, relics of ancient oceans, patrol the shadowy canyons, their slow movements betraying the patience of apex predators. Yet, for all we have discovered, much remains cloaked in mystery. Unexplained sounds, like the bloop and Julia, reverberate through the water, hinting at unknown forces or undiscovered life. Vast sunken plateaus, such as the Ontong Java, remain barely explored, their secrets locked beneath layers of silt and time. In this world of extremes, life adapts in ways both bizarre and beautiful. The underwater mountains and trenches of the Pacific are not barren wastelands, but vital strongholds of diversity and resilience. They are the ocean's hidden heart, a frontier where science meets wonder and where the next great discovery awaits in the darkness below. Invisible to the eye, yet powerful beyond measure, ocean currents sweep through the Pacific like vast living rivers, carving paths across thousands of kilometers. These currents are the arteries of the ocean, carrying warmth, nutrients, and life itself from shore to shore, from the sunlit surface to the mysterious abyss. Our journey begins high above the swirling gyres, where the North Pacific and South Pacific currents spiral in immense, slow-motion whirlpools. Satellite imagery reveals ribbons of turquoise and indigo, tracing the flow of water as it circulates around continents and islands. Below, the surface churns with the energy of the Kuroshio Current, Asia's mighty black stream. This warm, fast-flowing current surges northward along Japan's coast, nurturing lush kelp forests and drawing shoals of sardines, mackerel, and tuna into its embrace. Descending beneath the waves, we follow the California Current as it sweeps cold, nutrient-rich water down the western edge of North America. In its wake, upwelling zones bloom with life. Plankton clouds pulse in the sunlight, attracting vast schools of anchovy and the migratory giants that feed on them. The camera glides past a blue whale, its immense form illuminated by shafts of sun feasting in these fertile waters. Farther south, the equatorial countercurrent slices eastward, a conveyor belt for heat and moisture. Here, the surface shimmers with flying fish, pursued by sleek predators. The shifting currents sculpt the fates of entire ecosystems. During El Niño years, warm waters smother the coast of South America, silencing the usual abundance and sending ripples of change across the globe. Coral reefs bleach, seabird colonies dwindle, and the intricate web of life is tested by the ocean's restless pulse. Deep below, the Pacific's thermohaline circulation, driven by differences in temperature and salinity, propels cold, dense water from the polar fringes toward the equator. These abyssal flows are silent architects, redistributing oxygen and nutrients across the planet. As the deep currents rise along seamounts and continental slopes, they fertilize hidden gardens of sponge and coral, sustaining creatures that never see the light of day. Currents are also the invisible highways for ocean wanderers. Sea turtles, using magnetic cues, traverse entire basins with the help of these flows. Eels and salmon ride the currents as they journey between freshwater and sea, their migrations synchronized with the ocean's rhythm. From the smallest plankton to the largest whale, every life in the Pacific is shaped by the ceaseless movement of water. Currents regulate climate, drive productivity, and connect distant worlds, linking the frozen poles to tropical atolls, the surface to the abyss. In this grand, perpetual ballet, the Pacific's currents are both architects and lifeblood, sustaining the greatest expanse of wilderness on Earth. Beneath the waves of the Pacific, beyond the reach of the naked eye, a universe of life thrives in miniature. Here, in the sunlit shallows and the inky depths alike, plankton and microbes form the true foundation of the ocean's ecological pyramid, countless billions, drifting with the currents, orchestrating the fate of all larger creatures above them. The camera dives into a droplet of seawater, magnifying an astonishing metropolis. Phytoplankton, tiny, plant-like organisms, float in kaleidoscopic clouds. Diatoms, encased in glass-like silica shells, shimmer as they harness sunlight, converting carbon dioxide into oxygen with each fleeting pulse. Alongside them, whirling dinoflagellates flash bioluminescent blue, and delicate coccolithophores cloak themselves in intricate chalky plates, painting the sea's surface with milky blooms visible from space. These microscopic pioneers are the ocean's lungs, producing over half of the world's oxygen and absorbing carbon on a planetary scale. Their photosynthetic dance fuels the entire marine food web, nourishing zooplankton, minute crustaceans, gelatinous comb jellies, and larval forms of countless species. As the camera pans, copepods flicker through the water, feasting on phytoplankton and in turn becoming vital prey for fish, whales, and seabirds. Descending deeper, the scene shifts to the microbial realm. Here, bacteria and archaea flourish in every drop, recycling nutrients, decomposing organic matter, and driving invisible chemical cycles. Some, like Prochlorococcus, are so small that trillions can fit in a single liter of seawater, yet collectively they are among the most abundant photosynthetic organisms on Earth. Others, thriving near hydrothermal vents, harness chemical energy from the planet's interior, sustaining life where sunlight never penetrates. Together, these microbial communities regulate the ocean's health. They detoxify pollutants, break down dead material, and help buffer the climate by sequestering vast amounts of carbon in the deep sea. When plankton blooms fade, their remains rain downward as marine snow, nourishing the abyssal plain and feeding enigmatic creatures of the dark. The diversity within this microscopic world is staggering. Viruses outnumber all other forms of life, shaping populations and driving evolution through their constant invisible battles. Each second, genetic material is exchanged, mutated, and adapted, ensuring resilience across the Pacific's ever-changing environments. As the scene zooms out, the camera reveals the ripple effects, the abundance of fish in coastal upwelling zones, the migration of whales to plankton-rich waters, the clarity or cloudiness of the sea itself. Every breath, every bite, every surge of life in the Pacific is indebted to these invisible engines. In the grandest wilderness on Earth, It is the smallest inhabitants that hold the greatest power, sustaining ocean health, stabilizing the global climate, and weaving the intricate web of life that stretches from surface to sea floor. The story of the Pacific is, at its heart, the story of plankton and microbes, unseen yet utterly indispensable. Across the vast expanse of the Pacific, the pulse of the planet is shifting. The ocean, once a stable cradle of life, now faces unprecedented transformation driven by the changing climate. As the camera glides above the endless blue, subtle gradients of color hint at warming waters, surface temperatures rising year by year, reshaping the currents that once dictated the rhythms of life. Beneath the surface, coral reefs shimmer with fading brilliance. Once vibrant gardens, they now bear the pale scars of bleaching. The intricate polyps, stressed by relentless heat, expel their symbiotic algae, turning whole reefs into ghostly skeletons. Fish that once darted among the branching corals scatter, seeking shelter elsewhere, while the reef's rich tapestry of life grows threadbare. Deeper still, the water grows more acidic. Carbon dioxide, absorbed from the atmosphere, dissolves into the Pacific and forms carbonic acid. The camera closes in on a solitary pteropod, a delicate sea butterfly, its fragile shell dissolving at the edges. Across the water column, the invisible threat of acidification weakens the defenses of countless creatures, clams, oysters, and the very plankton that build their armor from calcium carbonate. Their struggle ripples upward, threatening the entire food web. In the open ocean, massive schools of fish shift their ancient migration routes, following cooler waters toward the poles. Tuna, mackerel, and sardines, once abundant in traditional grounds, now appear in unfamiliar places, leaving predators and prey out of sync. The camera trails a pod of dolphins, weaving through empty waters where once there was plenty, their search for sustenance growing ever more urgent. Along the coastlines, kelp forests sway in turbulent currents, battered by increasingly violent storms and surging waves. Some forests thrive in new territories, while others vanish, unable to withstand the relentless heat or the invasive species that flourish in altered conditions. In the shallows, sea urchins overgraze unchecked, their predators displaced by the warming seas. Far below the once stable thermocline, the boundary between warm and cold water shifts unpredictably, disrupting the upwelling of nutrients that once fueled explosive blooms of life. The camera captures the eerie stillness of a nutrient-starved zone gelatinous plankton, drifting in place of the usual abundance, and the silence of the deep echoing a profound loss. And yet, even as the Pacific reels from these changes, life endures. Some species adapt, their ranges expanding or contracting in a dynamic dance of survival. New communities emerge in unlikely places, forging fragile hope in the face of adversity. From the sunlit shallows to the abyssal plains, the Pacific Ocean stands at a crossroads, a living testament to the power and vulnerability of nature. The tides of change reshape its every corner, reminding us that even the mightiest wilderness is not immune to the breath of a warming world. Beneath the surface of the Pacific, a world of sound unfolds, a rich and intricate symphony that is as vital to life as sunlight and tides. As the camera descends below the gentle ripples, the first notes emerge, the low, rhythmic thrum of distant swells rolling across the open sea, mingling with the crackle of tiny bubbles rising from unseen volcanic vents. In the shadowy kelp forests, a chorus of clicks and pops echoes among the swaying fronds. Snapping shrimp no larger than a thumb unleash bursts of sound that rival the crack of a twig, their tiny claws creating shockwaves to stun prey and communicate with rivals. The camera glides through this underwater woodland, capturing the subtle interplay of sound and silence, the soft rustle of kelp blades brushing against each other, the faint hum of fish schools weaving through the green labyrinth, Out on the open blue, the song of the Pacific's giants reverberates through the water. Humpback whales launch haunting melodies that travel for hundreds of miles, their complex patterns of moans and whistles weaving through the ocean's vast corridors. Each note carries meaning, an invitation, a challenge, a declaration of presence. Nearby, pods of dolphins engage in rapid-fire exchanges, their high-pitched clicks and whistles forming a language as nuanced as any spoken on land. The camera follows a mother and calf, their calls echoing between bursts of playful leaps and spirals. Along the coral reefs, a vibrant daytime orchestra arises. Parrotfish crunch coral, turning limestone into sand, while damselfish dart and chirp, defending their tiny territories. The reefs themselves seem to crackle with life, a symphony of grazing, feeding and warning calls layered over the steady percussion of waves breaking above. Yet not all sounds are natural. As the camera drifts deeper, the acoustic tapestry is marred by the distant drone of passing ships, their propellers casting low-frequency rumbles that saturate the water for miles. In the twilight zone, seismic air guns, used for resource exploration, unleash deafening bursts, their echoes rebounding off the seafloor and disorienting sensitive creatures. Whales fall silent, their songs drowned by mechanical noise. Squid and fish, relying on the subtlest vibrations to hunt or evade predators, lose their bearings in the din. In these troubled waters, the natural symphony falters. The camera lingers on a solitary beaked whale, its echolocation clicks stifled by relentless background noise. A school of fish scatters, startled by an unexpected blast. Even the reefs grow quieter, the cacophony of life subdued by the constant hum of industry. Yet in pockets of tranquility, remote atolls, protected reserves and deep-sea sanctuaries, the ancient music endures. Here, the Pacific's voice rises unchallenged, the rumble of shifting sands, the staccato of crustaceans, the song of the whales. It is a reminder of the ocean's living pulse and of the delicate balance that sustains its harmony. In the Pacific's vast blue expanse, sound is more than sensation. It is the thread that weaves together the lives of millions. Preserving this invisible symphony is as crucial as protecting the creatures that create it, for in the music of the sea lies the story of its survival.